Emily Thornberry's calling you a liar. Do you stand by what you said?
I made my comments yesterday. I stand by them, but Piers, I may be subject to legal proceedings, so I don't think I should comment on it any further.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking whether you stand by them. I don't think those proceedings have been made active yet, so you're allowed to stand by what you said. You were very clear that one of your colleagues had been told by Emily Thornberry that, thank God, my constituents are not as racist as yours. Well, not racist, but it's just stupid. I'm sorry, stupid.
No, I didn't say that. As I just said to you, I stand by my comments yesterday, but I don't want to comment any further because there may be legal proceedings. But I said what I said and I stand by them.
I mean, you should only be worried about legal proceedings if it's not true.
I've just said what I've said. I stand by my comments yesterday. That's what you asked me and I've given you a direct answer.
Yeah, but obviously since you said them, Emily Thornberry's called you publicly a liar. Now, she's not actually sued you yet. You are entitled to defend yourself. If the comments are true, if what you were told was true, you've nothing to worry about, have you?
I think I've answered your question, haven't I? I made the comments yesterday. You've played them on the programme and I stand by them. I don't think I can add any more to that, can I?
Well, I think the reason it's such a big deal, if I may put it to you, is that Emily Thornberry clearly has aspirations to be the next leader of the Labour Party. Clearly, Brexit, as you know better than most because you lost your seat, was a major factor in why Labour took such a drubbing, its failure to deliver the results of the referendum. Emily Thornberry, an arch Remainer, if it was true that she basically implied everyone who's a Leaver on the Labour side is stupid, that would probably cost her any chance of being leader. So it's quite a big deal.
Yes. And as I also said on the programme yesterday, I don't think any of the architects of our strategy on Brexit, whether it's Emily Thornberry, Keir Starmer and others, are really the best candidates to be leader of the Labour Party. I would prefer to see somebody who understood better the concerns of those Labour Leave voters, and I would prefer somebody from the north of England. So I make no bones about that. I don't believe those that led us to this terrible strategy in regard to Brexit should be leader.
Caroline Flint, was this primarily a Brexit problem or was this primarily a Jeremy Corbyn problem?
It was both. There were two issues on the doorsteps. One, that people could not vote for someone who they thought could be Prime Minister, Jeremy Corbyn. And secondly, it was Brexit. People felt that Parliament had dithered, that the Labour policy was shambolic. They didn't understand it, they didn't get it. But more importantly than anything else, they felt angry about how they were being treated and how they were being judged on how they voted. And that's, I think, is very clear from lots of commentators. Kevin said it himself this morning. And I think it is terrible that a result of those two factors, we failed to make an impact. It was clear that the Labour offer, some of the policies were popular, but they didn't believe they were credible.
Because I wonder whether...
unfortunately, we didn't have an offer that people would buy.
Yeah, I wonder whether if, like in 2017, the Labour Party had said, we will honour the result of the manifesto and we will deliver Brexit, whether you think that would have made any difference at all with Jeremy Corbyn as leader?
I think we said in the manifesto the decision to leave the European Union has been settled by the British people. We'll work for a deal. And actually, I think that did help in 2017. There were voices in 2017 on my doorsteps concerned about Jeremy Corbyn. But I think in the last couple of years, partly because of Brexit, partly because of other aspects of his leadership, or as some people saw it, lack of leadership, that became ever stronger. In a weird way, the 2019 election was almost the election that Theresa May wanted in 2017. But I don't think that if we'd solved Brexit, that alone would have saved us. But when you were fighting on two very difficult fronts, I think it was very hard for many of us in the Midlands and in the North and in parts of Wales to fight back.
Jeremy Corbyn claims he won the arguments, but lost the war, effectively. It seems a fairly ridiculous thing to say when you've taken such a drubbing. But, I mean, does he have a point that some of the policies, and I'm sure Ken Livingstone, who we'll talk to in a moment, would say this, that some of the policies were popular, but that perhaps the problem was people didn't trust Jeremy Corbyn to be able to actually deliver on them?
I think there was an element of, definitely an element of trust in terms of Jeremy Corbyn as our leader, but also some of the other people around him as well. I think clearly some of the policies were and are popular. I mean, we can see what the Tory party is doing and what Boris Johnson is doing to make some of his policies more linked into some of the communities that feel they haven't been heard and haven't been listened to. I think the problem is that you can have policies that people say, that sounds great, but when you look at the whole package, people didn't really believe how they were going to be delivered and, importantly, paid for. I mean, free childcare, free broadband, free transport, free tuition fees. You know, it often came back from people that, yes, they like the policies, but how is it all going to be paid for?
Ask you,
where
Caroline
would it take us? And I think a lot of people...
Yeah, a lot of people are...
Sorry?
Sad. A lot of people are sad that you've lost your seat. They believe that you are a good MP. It's sad that you look quite emotional yesterday, and you look, you know, like you're holding it together today, but that underneath you're very, very wounded and sad about this. How do you feel personally about losing your job, your seat in Parliament, over something that was in the end sort of beyond your control?
I'm sad because when you've been an MP for 22 years, and I'm a constituency MP. I live in Doncaster. We're filming this in Doncaster. My kids went to school here. I'm here as a resident, not just an MP. And you build up relationships. You've met so many people. You've tried to help them in different ways. Of course, it's sad. It's a bit like a bereavement in some ways. But I mean, my saddest moments, I suppose, are really about what's happened with the Labour Party in the last few years, and that we had, in the pursuit of certain policies, in the pursuit of a certain type of politics that Corbyn expressed, but also the Brexit strategy, we have clearly put a distance between ourselves and our core Labour vote that have stood with us for many, many generations. And more than anything else, I think that's sad, because I do believe that Labour, when we're in power, make a real difference to our country in such a way as that we've been responsible for bringing in policies that future Conservative governments have then tried to carry on with. That's our legacy. And the fact that we didn't have an offer that the people could trust in order to have a government, I think that is... It's not about sadness for me, it's sadness for the people I represented.